Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to New York's historic Beacon Theater. Everyone at Madison Square Garden couldn't be more excited for Saturday night. There's nothing better than the heavyweight championship of the world at the Mecca of boxing, Madison Square Garden. I want to welcome Anthony and Team Joshua back to New York. It's been great working with the team during this promotion. Everyone from AJ, Freddie, Andy, Neil, the entire team has been tremendous to work with. I'd like to officially welcome Andy to New York, to Madison Square Garden. We've been big fans for a long time, and we know you're here to fight, and you're going to put on an incredible show on Saturday night. As you know, the Garden has a long and distinguished history with boxing dating back to 1882 and the great John L. Sullivan. Since then, the who's who of heavyweights have stepped into the Garden's famed boxing ring. From Jack Dempsey, Max Spare, Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano, Larry Holmes, Evander Holyfield, George Foreman, Joe Frazier, Mike Tyson, and of course the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, just to name a few, who have fought at the Garden. AJ and Andy will have the rare opportunity to walk into the footsteps of these legendary fighters when they enter the Garden on Saturday night. We know this is something fighters dream about, fighting at the Mecca of boxing, and it's something we do not take lightly. These guys get to live their dream on Saturday night, and we couldn't be more excited for them. We're expecting a great crowd of championship boxing with a huge contingent of UK fans, and Eddie, I for one, look forward to hearing Sweet Caroline sung properly in New York. It's going to be an electric atmosphere and a thrilling fight. Limited tickets can still be purchased at the MSG box office with through Ticketmaster.com, and I encourage you to act quickly because we are expecting a completely sold-out crowd on Saturday night. Of course, I'd like to thank Eddie, Frank, and the incredible staff at Matchroom, Sean, Kevin, Josh, Sydney, and Ross for putting this event together and bringing it to the great fans of New York and the United States. Matchroom has been a great partner throughout the promotion, and we look forward to many, many more events with them in the future. Also like to thank John Skipper, Joe Markovsky, and everyone at DAZN. They've been great to work with, and if you can't join us in person on Saturday, make sure you tune into DAZN. Also, always love having our friends from Sky Sports in New York as well. I look forward to an incredible event, and we look forward to seeing you guys all on Saturday night. Thank you.
Thank you, Sal. As we know, the WBA, the WBO, the IBF, and the IBO World Championships on the line on Saturday night. I'm delighted to have the presidents from the WBA and the WBO here with us, Gilberto Mendoza and Paco Balcazar as well. For the WBA, it's a huge night. Katie Taylor defending her WBA title, Callum Smith defending his WBA world title, Josh Kelly, and also Joshua Buatsi defending their WBA title as well. So I'd like to welcome up to say a few words the president of the WBA, Gilberto Mendoza.
Thank you, Eddie. Good afternoon to everybody. Good afternoon to all the media that gathered here for this important fight. I have a saying regarding this fight. I was born in the boxing business. Boxing is in my blood. And having the English fans coming to Madison Square Garden, such a legendary venue, bringing that Neil Diamond hit, Good Carolina, we're going to listen to it. That's the best atmosphere any fan can get. Besides that, we have great wet fighters in the ring. We have, for me, the best heavyweight in the world. He only needs one more belt to certify, and we also have a great contender. Andy Ruiz will come here to show his aggressiveness, his relentlessness, and I do believe he's going to be a great night of boxing for everybody. And as far as organizations, working together is one of the main things. Paco Valcarcel, who is basically one of my tutors in this boxing business, working with him and trying to make the best fight for the fans, that's what we're here for. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gilberto. And over to a belt that I know Anthony has a new version of now, the one he took off Josie Parker, and actually one that Andy Ruiz thinks he should own as well by now. The president of the WBO, Paco Balcazar.
Thank you, Eddie. It's a real pleasure to be here just to watch this great fight between the guy who was very close to be a world champion Andy Ruiz, Mexican warrior, and one of the best heavyweight I haven't seen in my life, Mr. Joshua, Anthony Joshua. What people have to ask, why this guy can bring 80, 100,000 fans every time he fights. It's something that's amazing. I haven't seen something like that in all my life, in almost 40 years in boxing. I invite everybody to come to Madison Square Garden just to see a great fight. Good luck to both, and it's a real pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. We're going to hear from, I guess, our two host broadcasters, if you like. And firstly, from Adam Smith at Sky Sports. These guys have been so supportive of us and British boxing. And I think it's really important to say, although British boxing now is hotter than it's ever been, there was a time when it wasn't. There was a time where we were in the leisure centres with 800 people in half-empty leisure centres, poor fights, and with Sky Sports' support, when no other broadcaster in the UK wanted to be involved with boxing, wanted to support boxing, Sky Sports continuously backed the sport of boxing, and we won't forget that. And now they're in a position as complete market leader for fight sports in the UK. And head of boxing for Sky Sports, I'd like to welcome up Adam Smith.
Thanks, Eddie. Yeah, there have been ups and downs over the 30 years that Sky have been committed to boxing, but I think it all changed in 2012 when this man struck Olympic gold in London. Eddie became our exclusive partners at Matchroom. We have a fantastic relationship with them. And when AJ signed with us and with Matchroom in 2013, it began a new venture. You know, we've had the likes of Ricky Hatton, of Lennox Lewis, Joe Calzaghe, David Hay, Carl Froch, so many others over the years. But Anthony brings something different to the table. He brings huge charisma, real likability factor, obviously a terrific talent inside the ring as well, but a man that can sell out 90,000 at Wembley or at the Principality, it's extraordinary, and it's a pleasure being with him on this ride alongside his excellent team. It's also been really good getting to know Andy Ruiz's team. Andy's a lovely guy, good family man, and he's taken this at, 5.5, 6 weeks notice after the terrible news about Jarrell Miller. And that's great. You know, he wants to be the first Mexican heavyweight champion of all time. We've had some great Mexican fighters we've shown over the years at Sky, mostly the lighter ones like Morales and Barrera and Juan Manuel Marquez, and he wants to be the first heavyweight champion. I know he's going to give it absolutely everything. He's got a terrific trainer in Manny Robles, someone that Anthony knows well, but Anthony's got his own man in Rob McCracken, and I'm sure they'll have everything ready for Saturday night. I hope you're enjoying everything back home on Sky Sports, skysports.com and Sky Sports News in the build-up. I'd like to thank as well our colleagues at the Zone, Joe and Simon Denyer and Matt Miller and everybody there who are a pleasure to work alongside. Bring on Saturday night. There's nothing like a fight in the garden. It takes you back to Kevin Kelly, the Flushing Flash, trying to tame the Prince, that 7 knockdown thriller. Let's hope we get another fight and night like that. Thanks.
Thanks, Adam. And again, going into the US market, it's a major night again for DAZN on Saturday. As I said, we saw the great fight between Jacobs and Canelo May 4th. This is the unified heavyweight world championship on DAZN. And again, in a period of around 8 months, you look at the talent that have teamed up and joined the DAZN platform. Of course, the two biggest stars in boxing today, Anthony Joshua and Canelo Alvarez, Triple G, Danny Jacobs, Demetrius Andre, Maurice Hooker, Tevin Farmer, Saur Rungvisai. I mean, the list goes on, and only the beginning for this incredible platform that really is one that fans should truly embrace. I'm going to bring up now the MVP, as I call him, Joe Markowski.
Thank you, Eddie. Yet again, you've stolen most of my lines, so I'll try and keep this brief. Thank you, first of all, to the media and the attendants. Many of you have travelled many thousands of miles across the Atlantic. We really appreciate the support. I think it speaks to the significance of Saturday's event that so many of you have made the journey. Thanks to Sal and Joel and the team at the Garden for their hospitality. Great partners working with MSG as always. It's actually the first event in a 3-week residency for DAZN at MSG, so we're starting to feel a little bit like Billy Joel, giving him a run for his money. Just like AJ was there for the start of our American journey back in September, we're very proud to be here at the start of his as the exclusive broadcaster of a dangerous fight against a highly motivated Andy Ruiz, not just here in the United States, but in all of our 9 markets, a growing number of markets around the world across 4 continents. Since AJ made that debut on the Zone in September, it's fair to say that a lot has changed in boxing. The Zone now have 6 of the top 10 pound-for-pound boxers signed to our platform, and many of those are amongst the biggest draws in the sport, of course. Canelo Alvarez, Gennady Golovkin, and of course AJ himself. We're also proud to say that we feature some of the world's top women's fighters, Katie Taylor this Saturday again, Amanda Serrano and Carissa Shields, as well as some of the hot young prospects coming through, the likes of Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. And at a time when many of the media, many of the fans are focused on how the boxing landscape is fractured across different promoters, different broadcast relationships, we're proud to say that we're working with a growing number of promoters to cut through all of that noise and really deliver for fight fans. Matchroom, Golden Boy, Triple G Promotions, the World Boxing Super Series, all of those promoters are attached to us here in the United States, and that allows us to say very proudly that we have the best schedule in boxing and one that we are continuing to deliver without question at the best possible value for fight fans. But we're not done. We're hard at work behind the scenes planning the rest of 2019 to build out that schedule, making sure we continue to over-deliver for our subscribers. So we look forward to seeing as many of you as possible at the Garden on Saturday night, and to all of those watching on the Zone, we look forward to seeing you too. Best of luck to both the fighters, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe, Adam. At this time, we're going to go to the fighters. I believe we're joined live now on Sky Sports News in the UK, of course, live on the Zone as well. We're going to go to the fight teams. Firstly, the trainers. A gentleman to my left, who I think we all have a great amount of respect for. Our class, he was one of the top trainers in the sport of boxing. I was a little bit worried when I found out he was actually training Andy Ruiz, because he had a crack of the whip before with Dominic Brazil. He had Manny Robles in London. He got a chance to see 7 rounds with Anthony Joshua up close, and now he has a second chance with his charge Andy Ruiz to become unified world heavyweight champion. Ladies and gentlemen, the trainer for Andy Ruiz, Manny Robles.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you to the entire press that's here today. I don't have very much to say. All I can tell you